All right, y'all, I currently have a geocaching explosion going on right now on my dining room table. Yesterday, I went to the dollar store and to the party store and got some random, just little trinkets that I could put in geocaches. And I also pulled out some things that I already had. I used to subscribe to a service called Cache Crate, which was really, really fun. It was a monthly subscription box where you would get geocaching supplies every month. And it was really fun to see what you got. And when I found that I was accumulating more stuff than I was using, I stopped my subscription, but I may go back to it. I do have a couple of geocaches I would like to hide today. And what I'm doing is I'm putting together some caches. First of all, I have these. This is a bison tube. And this is a fake bolt, which has a magnet on it so it can stick to metal. And I'll show you what is on the inside of these. So if you can see it, this one has a rolled up piece of paper. So when a geocache finder finds it, they sign their name on it. And this one, you can see it's rolled up. It's really, there's barely enough space in there. So if this one doesn't work for the spot that I have in mind, my backup plan is to hide this one in a different spot. This one might not be as much fun, but that's okay. And I've also got a container. I had some little monkeys that I hot glued to the top here. And I'm putting in, this one's going to be called Not My Circus. And I found some little animals that you might find in the circus. Now I will say that in recent years there has been a lot of controversy about circuses, especially animals and the way animals are treated, and fortunately circuses are moving away from that. So you can look at this as a commentary or a celebration of the circus. So I've got, some animals that random circus animals and some whimsical things, a couple bouncy balls. This is a cache crate pin that came in one of my cache crates one month. Thought that might be fun to stick in there. I actually got this container from Cache Crate. Okay, and then there's, of course, a logbook in here. And this one is going to be called Welcome to the Jungle. And what I've done is I've taken some duct tape and sort of camouflaged this container with it. And I'm going to put just I've got some jungle, here's a logbook, of course, jungle animals and some whimsical items in there. And so I'm planning to place one of these and one of these today. And I'll take you along with me to do that. And I'm going to try to organize some of this stuff too. So we'll see you down the caching trail. I am in a park in Blacksburg, and the park is mostly sports fields, but there is also a walking path that goes around the sports field, and it's about half a mile if you go all the way around. I come out here quite frequently just to walk, and I decided I wanted to hide a geocache here. I'm not going to give the exact location. I have my two little micro caches that I showed you earlier, and I am going to hide one of them. I'm going to try one, and I'll try the other one. So I'm going to continue around this track, and then I'm going to hide this cache. I'll let you know which one I end up hiding. This is a nice little path. It's not really a track like a conventional athletic track with lanes and a quarter mile. Like I said, it's a little under a half mile. around this. And it's a nice place to come. All right, the fake bolt worked. So maybe I'll get a few favorite points on that cache once it publishes. On to the next location. All right, I am here in an area called the McDonald Hollow Trail Network. It's part of Brush Mountain Park, which is a series of trails that is, I think, is still being built. This part is finished, but it's just a network of trails on Brush Mountain, and it's owned, I believe, by the New River Land Trust and or the town of Blacksburg. And there used to be several geocaches along these trails right here that I'm hiking. And the owner of those caches moved. And those have since been archived and removed. So there are no geocaches here currently. I was here yesterday with friends, just on a hike, and I was kind of keeping my eyes open. I was hoping to kind of scope out a few spots. I do have all the locations of the old caches, the archived caches rather, on my phone. But I don't necessarily want to put the caches exactly where the old ones were. So right now, today I'm only going to hide one cache. I might hide the larger one called Welcome to the Jungle, which would be classified as a regular size cache. Or I might hide the smaller one called Not My Circus. Just depends on what kind of hiding place I find and what would be appropriate, what size container. So there is an abandoned rowboat just in the woods. All right, I think I can show this to you without revealing too much about the hiding spot. Don't want to give too much away, but here's where I've decided to hide this cache. This is the one called Not My Circus. And what I'm going to do is make it a little bit less visible by putting some sticks on top. All right, there it is. For those of you looking for the cache, this is what you're going to look for. Two caches hidden today. I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to write up cache pages for each of them and I'm going to publish them. I would like to ask those of you who hide geocaches, what tools do you use, I should say, to mark the coordinates for your caches? Because what you have to do when you hide a cache is you have to put the coordinates in so that people can come with their phones and with their GPS devices to those coordinates and find the cache. So what I've been doing for the past 15 years or so is I've used an app called CGeo. And CGeo has a feature on it called Go To. And I've always used that tool to mark my geocaches. And what they recommend is that you mark your location and then you walk 100 feet away or so. I usually walk about 50 feet away. And then you go back to the location, mark it again. And then you walk again in a different direction, mark it again. So you do that 3 or 4 times, and whatever your coordinates are each time, they're going to be slightly different. You average them together, and that's what you put on your cache page. And I've usually had pretty good luck with that. Haven't had any problems with the coordinates being too far off. But here's the problem. According to CGO, when I opened up that feature, because I haven't used it in like 3 years, it's going away. So whatever new version is going to come out next, that feature is going away. So now I have to figure out a different way to mark my coordinates. I do have an old Garmin eTrex GPS device that we got in like 2007. I have not used that thing in years. I don't even know if it works anymore. And I don't even know if I wouldn't remember how to use it to mark. I have used it many years ago to hide geocaches, but it's been so long since I've used it. So if you have any tips, I know that it is recommended that you use a GPS device because they tend to be more accurate than a phone. So I could get a new GPS device, but what other tools could I use on my phone? I don't think the geocaching app, the official app, has that type of feature on it. There's another app that I can use. I have an Android phone, so I would have to use I use CGO. That's only for Android, and there is also another one called GeoGo, which actually recently deleted from my phone because I never use it, and it was taking up space. So if CGO has a feature like that, I will happily download that one again and use that. So anyway, if you have any tips, let me know. Talk to you soon.